This is Valley News Live at 4.
We begin this afternoon with breaking news. A West Fargo police officer passed away today while on duty. In a press conference this afternoon, Police Chief Dennis Otternis said an officer suffered a medical emergency just after noon. He was later pronounced dead at the hospital. The name of that officer has not been released. The U.S. Marshal Service is reviewing safety procedures at the federal courthouse in Fargo after a man slit his throat yesterday. The FBI out of Minneapolis says 55-year-old Jeffrey Ferris used an easily concealable weapon to cut his throat after a partial guilty verdict. Ferris was on trial for an April 2020 incident on the Turtle Mountain Indian Reservation. He had been found guilty of reckless endangerment, terrorizing, and use of a firearm in relation to a felony crime of violence. He was also found not guilty on 8 counts of assault with a dangerous weapon. A Fargo man was sentenced to 10 years in prison for abusing his 7-week-old daughter. 37-year-old Roger Hellerud pled guilty to felony domestic violence, serious bodily injury stemming from an incident in December 2019. He had been watching his daughter at home by himself when her mouth was injured. He initially said a cat jumped into her bassinet, then changed his story to say she fell off the couch. According to court documents, people close to the family reveal Hellerud had threatened before to strangle the baby and handled her in a rough manner. This afternoon, Valley News Live investigates a senior prank at Cheyenne High School and the way one teacher addressed it. Many students and parents reached out to our whistleblower hotline this afternoon who say the prank included toilet paper and silly string on walls. The students also say door handles were slathered with Vaseline and a watermelon was smashed in the cafeteria. They say that caused one teacher to, quote, cuss out his classroom. The school district confirmed with us just a short time ago that the teacher addressed the prank with several of his classes today in an unprofessional manner. Take a listen.
This building at 6:45 this morning. Just like every other day. Because of your dumb out here and your dumb friends, I spent the last hour and a half picking up the school. Well, guess what? You get none of the satisfaction of your dumb prank. Whoever participated will not graduate.
The district says they can't comment further into what the consequences the students will be facing. Tonight at 6, you'll hear more of that audio as well as an interview with one Cheyenne senior who says he wants the teacher to be held accountable. That story tonight on Valley News Live at 6. As we told you, this story came to us through our whistleblower hotline. If you need help uncovering something in your community, call us at 701-237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. The man who attacked a Valley News Live crew in downtown Fargo earlier this month has been charged. Valley News teams Nashay Taylor and Michael Downs were setting up for a live shot when this man got out of his truck and started yelling at them. He then began walking towards them with a screwdriver before stabbing the camera. Police later identified the man as the owner of the property, Gary Reinhardt. He's charged with criminal mischief and disorderly conduct. Now let's check in with Hutch for a first look at your forecast.
Well, definitely noticeably windier, but temperatures today noticeably cooler, not far from 90 in Roseau, 86 right now, and near 80 in Grand Forks. We have 73 in Jamestown and Fergus Falls and Lakes Country in those low 70s for a comfortable afternoon. Here is a look at those wind speeds, and at the time where you see the colors here in oranges, we have gusts upwards of 35 to 40 miles per hour. So gusty winds across the valley, straight south to north. Hold on to your hats out there. We do have a few more clouds streaming through, but you can see the precipitation confined to parts of extreme eastern Minnesota and Wisconsin for this evening. So we'll stay dry, head out to the golf course, but hold on to the hat. It's going to be a breezy one, even beyond sunset, as we'll have 15 to 25 miles per hour into the overnight hours. Those south winds and the clouds will actually keep us from getting too cold too quickly. Likewise, Grand Forks. Similar temperatures for your evening with 60s by bedtime. Coming up, several chances of rain. Stacy, I'll tell you when the best chance will be for your area in the hour-by-hour forecast in a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Hutch. West Fargo police say keep an eye out for a mountain lion near the Cheyenne River. The large cat was spotted in the area of 26th Avenue East and 1st Street East just before 8:30 this morning. Nearby Freedom Elementary School decided to keep kids inside for recess for the rest of the day. Police say the mountain lion hasn't shown any aggressive behavior, so they're letting it go on its way. They urge you to keep an eye on your kids and your pets, and if you see the mountain lion, call 911. A Beltrami County Police K-9 and his deputy have been busy lately. K-9 Mac helped track down 2 wanted men last week. The first was early in the morning on May 12th. Officers say the K-9 tracked the driver of a stolen vehicle through a swamp and up a tree. 20-year-old Dwayne Hart was arrested and has pending charges of theft of a motor vehicle and fleeing police. Police say later that day, K-9 Mac helped with a police chase. The suspect took off on foot and Mac found him hiding behind a stump. They haven't released the name for that suspect. Firefighters spent the night at a bean processing plant in Park Rapids, Minnesota, where a fire caused extensive damage. It started around 8:30 last night at Green Valley Bean along Highway 34. Fire crews were called back to the scene around 3:45 this morning for another flare-up. You can see heavy smoke and fire in this video sent to us by a viewer. No injuries have been reported. No word yet on a cause. 2 brothers in Jamestown are using their magnet fishing experience in hopes of helping a local family find evidence in the cold case of their son's murder. The Kinsler brothers, Austin and Brandon, are combing the Red River in Wahpeton to help Andrew Sadek's family find answers. The body of the 20-year-old was found in the Red River not far from where he attended NDSCS in Wahpeton in 2014. The autopsy found Sadek died of a gunshot wound. It had no drugs or alcohol in his system. A backpack full of rocks was also tied to him. It's unclear how his body ended up in the river. No gun was ever found. The Jamestown brothers were asked by Sadek's mother to help. They used 2 1,500-pound pull magnets and a double-sided 3,600-pound magnet. Hopeful those high-powered magnets could find some evidence in the cold case. After a day of searching the river, they weren't able to turn up anything, but they plan to head out again soon. Sanford Health expects to vaccinate 800 12 to 15-year-olds this week. This comes after the Pfizer vaccine was approved for the age group last week. Parents can sign up their kids the same way they would sign up themselves. Walk-in appointments are also available. Children will need parental consent to receive the vaccine. Dr. Doug Griffin says vaccinations are the gateway to a more normal summer and upcoming school year.
This is kind of the ticket to, kind of looking like a normal school year, go to school non-masked. Not missing any sport activities, those sorts of things, not disrupting any family vacations.
The single-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine is also again available at Sanford. Clay County Public Health is holding walk-in COVID vaccine clinics at the Yumcomb Center tomorrow and Thursday. The health department will be offering the single-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine at tomorrow's clinic, which runs from 3 to 6 p.m. Thursday's clinic is from 1:30 to 3:30 and will have both the J&J and Moderna vaccine. Meanwhile, Grand Forks Public Health is adding a new pop-up vaccination clinic. This one will be at the Home of Economies parking lot located at 1508 North Washington Street. You can get a shot on Thursday from 10 in the morning until 2. Walk-ins are welcome. You can also find a link to set up an appointment right on our website, valleynewslive.com. New data from the CDC reveals COVID vaccination rates are lower in rural areas of the U.S. Researchers looked at vaccination numbers from mid-December of 2020 to mid-April of this year. They found about 39% of adults in rural counties had received at least 1 dose of the vaccine. That's compared to almost 46% of people in urban areas. Experts say the gap is concerning because COVID cases and deaths are higher in rural counties. If you're looking for more options to get the vaccine, just use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's on the homepage of our website, or you can open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. Health officials say the U.S. is moving in the right direction in the battle against the pandemic, and that has led to many states rolling back mask mandates that have been in place since last year. Skylar Henry has more from Capitol Hill.
We are winning the war on the virus.
The Biden administration says COVID-19 infections are down in all 50 states for the first time since the pandemic began. Nationwide, new cases are down 87% since January, and deaths are down 82%.
The past week has been a big week with progress and milestones that set us on a path out of this pandemic.
With cases down and vaccinations up, many cities and states are looking at the CDC guidance issued last week and moving to withdraw their mask mandates for vaccinated people. But uneven mask policies across the country are leading to some confusion.
Don't leave them at home yet. Keep them on you.
Even if a city or state lifts its mandate, stores can still require masks if they want.
It's easier just to kind of ask people to keep on doing what they've been doing than to suddenly make some people feel potentially really unsafe.
The unevenness of the mask mandate rollback is evident even here on Capitol Hill, where the House still has rules in place on mask wearing while the Senate does not.
Masks are still required on the House floor. Dr. Brian Monahan, Congress's attending physician, says he will keep the mask requirement until all members and floor staff are fully vaccinated. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
A CNN survey of lawmakers showed about 25% of House members have not reported being vaccinated. Minnesota Department of Transportation crews are busy getting road work done in Moorhead, but much of it is happening overnight to minimize the traffic impact and increase productivity. The Minnesota DOT uses the first 2 weeks of each summer to seal cracks, patch roads, and repair pavement that may have been damaged in the winter. This week, work is being done at Highway 10 along Center Avenue and Main Avenue between 8 p.m. and 6:30 in the morning. The DOT says it's important to be cautious of workers in the area.
Zone safety is everyone's job, right? It's important for all of us to, if we see a work zone, if we encounter a work zone of any kind, to slow down, give those workers plenty of room to work, move over if you can.
Next week, crews will focus on I-94 and area bridges. Watch out for lane closures or check the 511 app before heading out. The city of West Fargo has chosen the company that will build its new fire department headquarters. At last night's city commission meeting, EAPC Architects Engineers was chosen to do the project, located at 1201 10th Avenue East. Fire Chief Dan Fuller says out of the 7 proposals, they stood out because of their local focus and statewide reputation of building fire stations. The goal is to have it complete by spring of 2023. A Fargo business is rebuilding after a massive fire last week and relocating in the meantime. Bodyworks Physical Therapy says their new building should be complete by October or November. The fire destroyed an entire strip mall, including Bodyworks and Gigi's Playhouse. They'll start seeing patients tomorrow at their new temporary location in the Prairie Stone Center on the corner of 45th and 17th. The University of Jamestown PT program is loaning them equipment until their new items arrive. Dairy Queen is looking to make your summer a lot sweeter. How you can win $5,000 in gift cards is coming up.
Dry weather continues across the region as we head into our late week and the weekend ahead. There'll be several chances of rain. We'll spell out when the chances will be best for some sizable rainfall amounts and your hour-by-hour forecast coming up right after this.